What props do we need?
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm recording now. I was just gonna say grab, and y'all can hear me okay still?
Yeah.
Okay, I was telling Narissa before you got on, Ariana, that I'm using like wireless earbuds for the first time. So we'll see how that goes. So you need, so for everyone joining, yay, you need blocks. Blocks are good, like a pillow or some kind of bolster, blankets, really anything you have lying around the house that you can use to prop yourself up. Because today we're gonna do 30 minutes of flow. We'll get like sweaty. It'll be really nice and juicy and we'll move kind of fast. And then we'll do 30 minutes of just deep relaxation and some restorative yin poses. So the point is to really activate for the first 30 minutes, get moving, get going, get the heart rate up, and then slow it down, wind it down. And the idea behind doing a Vin-Yin practice today, oh, hey, Chloe, yay. The idea behind doing Vin-Yin today was just that I think there's a lot of nervous energy going around about reopening some states, reopening our city. I know Houston just kind of did like a soft opening, and I certainly have a lot of jumbled up feelings about it. So I wanted to kind of get all that going and then take 30 minutes to do some deep relaxation. So yeah, so I think I'm clearing today. And everyone make sure you're on mute if you don't mind, just because I'm recording this. I'm gonna put it up later. So my clearing today is I'm clearing a lot of nervous energy and uncertainty, and I'm letting in peace and relaxation. So go ahead and take 15 to 30 seconds to do your own clearing, and then set up when you're done with that for just in a comfortable seat. You can sit up next to a wall. We're gonna do a body scan to start. So I'm gonna actually sit next to the wall. And then again, I think maybe one person isn't muted. Let's see. There we go. Okay. All right, so once you are done with your clearing, find a comfortable seat, and we'll start with a body scan. So use either the wall to prop you up or some kind of block, something to support you. I've got a fan going right on me, so that feels really nice. If you are feeling like you want to ground today, place your hands down. If you're wanting to receive energy today, wherever you find yourself doing this practice, hands up. And just breathe here. There's something very powerful about doing yoga in community with others. I've been thinking about that a lot as I've been doing a lot of recorded videos, like videos from the YouTube during this pandemic, and that's great. There's a lot of power to that. But a friend said that I never get into the yoga headspace unless I'm practicing live with people. So I'm so grateful to y'all who showed up today. And there's just something about doing it with others and feeling the community and support of this practice together. So thank you. So take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Check in with yourself and see how you're doing today, how you find yourself in this moment. Letting your props support you, letting the wall support you, letting me support you, letting the others who are also practicing support you. We're all going through this together. About 30 more seconds here. Your mind may have wandered. Come back to your breath. Come back to this moment. You can gently blink open your eyes if you had them closed. We'll set up for some core to start getting our body moving. So we're going to do just a little bit of core here. You can choose to do whatever core you like. I'm going to walk us through some bicycle and then some 30, 60, 90 abs. So for bicycle, you want to lie on your back kind of like you just fell into a chair, like fell from a chair onto the ground. Lift your head and neck off the ground and kind of shimmy so that you have a really nice grip on the back of your head. I'm going to activate your toes here like you're stamping the wall in front of you. Take your elbows and bring them in and up like this. So you're really giving your head a nice firm cradle. Take an inhale in, and then on an exhale, bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee and extend your right foot out. Hold that here. Pull the low belly in and up. Inhale, come back to center. Take a breath in, lift your head and shoulders up off the ground. Exhale, bring left elbow to the outside of your right knee, extend your left leg out. Pause. Activate your lower belly like someone's kind of punching you. I know that's not exactly, yogi, but that's really what it is, like you're bracing yourself. Inhale, come back to center. Take one breath in and lift your head and shoulders up again off the ground. Flatten your back against the ground. Exhale, bring your left elbow to the outside of your left knee and extend your right foot. Hold that here. Flatten your spine against the ground. And then exhale, come back to center. Lift head and shoulders up again. Make sure that clasp on the back of your neck is tight. And then bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Extend left leg out. Hold that here, flatten the spine, activate the belly, bring it all back to center. Do 2 more rounds of that on your own, at your own pace. The slower, the better. Back to center. Do the other side. You might really feel your core activating here, turning on. 1 more round. Remember to keep those feet active. Core engaged. Head and shoulders lifting up. And release that. Full body stretch. Little shimmy, little shake. And then same thing here. I'm actually going to use a block underneath my head here for this part. You don't have to. You can lift your head and shoulders off the ground or however you'd like. Lift your feet up like you're stamping the ceiling. Some people like to bring their hands into a diamond behind their sacrum. I prefer to have my hands on the ground like this. You can have your knees bent or straight, whatever's easier for you. Take a breath in and flatten your spine against the mat. Start here, activate toes. Separate all 10 of your toes. 1 more inhale. And exhale, bring your legs down about 1/3 of the way. Flatten the spine against your mat. Inhale again. Exhale, down 1 more 1/3 of the way. Might feel your core start to shake here. Inhale, exhale, couple inches off the ground for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do 1 more set. Lift legs up. Knees can be bent or straight. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower 1/3 of the way down. Keep feet active. Inhale. Exhale, another 1/3 of the way down. Flatten spine against the mat. Inhale. Exhale, this time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Heels together. 3, 2, 1. Legs up. And full body stretch. Very good, exhale. Woo! Our core has been woken up. Our core is ready to go. Little shakes and rock and roll a couple times. Whoop, up. We'll do a couple of sun salutations to warm up our bodies as well. All right, here we go. So start with Tadasana, standing mountain pose. Strong mountain pose. Your legs can be about hip width apart, maybe a little bit closer if you'd like. Inhale, arms to sky. Exhale, forward fold, dive all the way over. Inhale, hands on shins or upper thighs, long neck and spine. Exhale, take your flow. So come into your version of plank, knees up or down. I'm gonna do knees down for the first one, chaturanga. Bring hands forward for a cobra. Take cobra first. And then exhale, down dog. Look forward, inhale. Walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Long neck and spine. Exhale, forward fold. And we'll do it again. Whoop, all the way up. Float all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift up. Try a different hand variation this time. Exhale, take your flow. Remember, knees up or down, your choice. Whoop, hug elbows in. I'm gonna take a little bit higher of a cobra this time, almost an up dog, but not quite. And then exhale to down dog. Take a second to pedal out your dog here. Look forward. Walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more. Arms up to sky. And float on through. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to float. Whoop. Hugging elbows into your chest. This time I'm going to take an up dog. So lifting my knees up. And exhale, downward dog. Whoop. Take a second to set up your down dog strongly here, just while we have a moment. So hug elbows into the center line of your body, rooting down through the balls of your foot, pushing your heels down, pulling your heels down towards the mat. And then exhale, coming down to your knees. We'll do a little bit of a toe stretch here. A little preview of what our yin practice will look like. So you can see me on the side, I'm sitting on my toes, just like this. Looking out my window, I see some flowers that are coming up. And then stand up. We're coming into horse stance here. So for horse stance, have your legs about, 3 to 4 feet apart, almost the length of your mat, but not quite. And you're going to sink down onto your horse as if you were on a wide, wide horse. Have your hands, we're going to do some traction here. So have your hands on top of your thigh, like the medius part of your thigh is where you want to go, really pushing down here. And then letting your head rest down. So relaxing your head. Rooting down into all 4 corners of your feet. You can lift your toes if you'd like. Swaying back and forth. And we're setting up for Skandasana. Let's do it on the left side first. So this is not a favorite pose of mine, which again just tells me that I need to keep practicing. So for Skandasana, you can have your heel down on the ground, or mine is always lifted. You can even use a block if you'd like to give yourself some support here. This is a hip opener. So again, you're stamping the wall with your right leg as you bend your left knee and sitting up nice and tall. If you're on a block, you can keep it there or you can remove it and use your heel as a support. Again, the point is to keep your spine nice and straight. And then moving through center, staying as low as you can, come to the other side. Boop, grab your block. If you used it on side one, you can use it on side two. Opening up your hips here, this time stamping the wall with your left foot. Hands to heart center. Using the block to support you, or using the ball of your right foot. Either way, it's cool. Come to the center of your mat, walking your toes in, removing your block. Actually, keep it with you because we're going to use it as we flow. All right, so here we go. We're going to start in a down dog. If you want to get there, you can flow into it, or you can just set up for a down dog. I'll flow into it just because I want to get extra sweaty before we do our yin poses today. Here we go. Down dog. Lift up your right leg. Again, remember the point is to get really active here, to move our bodies a lot. So open up your hips here, and you can make circles with your hips. And then lower your hip points down so both are facing the mat. Bring your leg through for a high lunge. So high lunge, right foot through, hands extended up to the sky, fingers pointing in towards each other, elbows out. Your right knee is directly over your right ankle. Kind of play with your left leg. So, bringing the weight forward, bringing the weight back. Find a sweet spot for you. A little shaking is good. So high lunge, we're taking this first one slow. And then exhale, opening up to a warrior two. So the left leg is at about 12 o'clock, right leg is at 3 o'clock. Arms are extended out at shoulder level. We're gonna take this into a kind of a flow itself. So exhale, coming to reverse warrior. Inhale, coming to extended side angle. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. This time we're gonna hold. So exhale. Maybe looking over your left shoulder, focusing on keeping the left blade edge of your foot rooted down. Focus on hugging in your legs so the inside arches are hugging towards each other. And then on an exhale, coming into extended side angle. One long line of energy. If you need a little more support to keep yourself propped up, you can bring your right elbow closer to your body. Again, focusing on keeping your feet really planted toward the ground. And then coming into a standing split. So it's kind of a little bit of an awkward transition, but it's almost like we're gonna go to a pyramid and then popping up into a standing split here. Notice my standing split is not super high. You don't wanna open up your hips here. You wanna keep your hips pointed down, almost as if they were headlights, pointed down to the ground. You can point or flex your foot, whatever's gonna help you get the most activity here. If you'd like, you can keep your hands planted to the ground, maybe to a block. Or if you want to test your balance, you can bring your hands to your ankle. Drishti, your gaze should be just a little bit in front of you. Focus on a point that's not moving. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Whoop. And instead of a flow, we'll just move straight to down dog on the other side. So come to down dog. You may be pointed the same way onto your mat or a different way. Really doesn't matter, it's all good. This time, bringing your left leg up to the sky. Open up your left hip. Make some circles with it. And then point it down again so your hips are facing the ground. Opening up into your upper arms, your armpits. If someone was next to you, they could smell you. But they're not, because we're all socially distancing, right? And then bring your left leg through as quietly as you can and mindfully for a high lunge. And then come on up. Setting up strong here. How much can you root down in your torso to pull your upper body up? Playing with that back leg, so maybe you straighten, maybe you bend. See what's going to give you the best feeling here, or maybe the feeling of the most work. Exhale to a warrior two. There's a really cute squirrel outside. It almost looks like he's like picking flowers, or she. All right, settle into your warrior two. And then go through that flow again. So exhale, back to reverse warrior. Inhale to extended side angle. And then back and forth. Again, back to reverse warrior. Exhale to extended side angle. This time we'll hold. So hold that reverse warrior. Think about planting the outside edge of your right leg onto the mat. Keeping the integrity of your legs, so sinking down in both legs here. And then exhale, moving into extended side angle on this side. Hi, I see someone just joined us.
It's Barbara.
Hey, Barbara.
Hey.
We're still flowing.
All right.
So we're a couple more minutes and we're moving into yin. So opening up in your hips again, rooting down in your feet. Lifting your chin up if it's dropped. I cue this just as much for me, it's for you, y'all. And then coming into your standing split on this side. So just like we talked about our hips opening during that down dog, bring your hip points down to the ground. Your standing leg can have a little bit of a micro bend in it. This will help you protect your knees. Stamp the wall behind you with your right foot. Drishti or your gaze about 6 inches to a foot in front of you. Hands on your ankle, maybe on the ground, whatever works for you. I think maybe Barbara, I think you're not muted.
Oh, sorry.
You're all good. Coming back to warrior two. Whoop. And then flowing. So going through your flow all the way down, elbows hugging into your chest. Inhale to cobra. Take a second here to root down with your tops of your feet as you can pull up onto your shoulders. And then exhale to down dog. So we're going to do the other side. Y'all stay where you are. I'm going to come here this way y'all can see me. We're going to do the other side. We're going to move faster this time. So 1 breath per movement. We won't hold anything. And then listen for the change at the very end. We'll take something different besides standing split. After this, we'll move into yin. So last opportunity to super flow before we move into the restorative poses. Inhale, lift right foot up. Hip points point down. Exhale, bring it through. High lunge. Just 1 breath here. Settle in. Exhale, opening up to warrior two. Inhale, coming back to that reverse warrior. Exhale to extended side angle. Take the flow a couple more times. Back to reverse. Extended side angle. Back to reverse. Extended side angle. And one more time. This time we'll hold this just for 2 breaths maybe. And on your extended side angle, you can stay in extended side angle. If you'd like to take a half bind or full bind here, or bird of paradise, if that's in your practice, go for it. Just make sure you're lifting your chest up. Holding here just briefly. This time moving into half moon instead of the standing split. So bringing your right hand to a block, and then coming into half moon, opening up your left hip. Arms are stacked on top of each other. Your legs are in an L shape. Feet are active. Strong right foot stamping into the ground. Coming back to warrior 2. And we'll just set up straight for the other side. So coming into down dog. Again, it's up to you if you want to take it on the same side of your mat or reverse. Totally up to you. This time lifting your left leg up to the sky. Bringing it through for a high lunge. Moving more quickly here. Second time around. And then opening up to warrior 2. Sinking in. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, extended side angle briefly. Exhale, reverse. See if you can keep the integrity of the poses, even as we move through them a little more quickly. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. This time hold here. Exhale, extended side angle. This time take your variations. If you'd like, just half bind, full bind, bird of paradise. All the while, keeping your right shoulder pointed up. And let that go. This time, come to standing forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. And we're gonna move into our yin series. So letting your hips relax a bit. Bringing your feet to the center of your mat. And then taking a little yogi squat. Pause for a second and get some water. Towel off. You can check in with yourself. And we'll start our yin series. So I definitely feel my heart pumping. Grateful to have the fan blowing on me. For our yin series, make sure that you've got props with you, so blocks, blankets, a bolster, just whatever you need to kind of prop you up. So if for the vinyasa, the Vin part of our flow, you were activating, your muscles were on, you were engaged, for yin, we're letting all that go. So engage nothing, just kind of let everything go. We're trying to get into the fascia here so that one of my teachers described it as, if you get those like cuties or oranges in a bag, it's that really springy stuff that connects the bag together. So it's what helps us get into the deep tissue here. That's what we're going for with the yin poses. So we're gonna start with a seated forward fold. So again, whereas normally if we were doing a Vin practice, we would turn our feet on, stamp our feet. We're not doing that here. So letting your legs go. Maybe they roll out. I'm gonna grab my pillow here for this one. And I'm gonna also grab my phone because I'm gonna be timing us. So for yin poses, you tend to hold them for a couple of minutes. And again, the work here is to just hold it, to just stay and relax in the pose. So we're going to forward fold and just relax. You can keep a micro bend in your knee. You can bend your knees a lot. But just fold on over. I'm using a block, if you can see, to support my head and neck. And we'll hold this one for about 2 more minutes. Already been here about 30 seconds. So the point here again is just to be. So maybe in those standing poses, we want to fidget and make a lot of movements here. We just want to let it go. It's as much of a mental practice as a physical one. Can you just sit here and do nothing? About 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Maybe you move a little bit deeper. And then slowly, very, very slowly, since that was a long hold, moving your hands back. And then sitting up very slowly. No jerky movements here. You can move your props out of the way. And we'll take Sphinx this time. So if you're pregnant, you want to do this on your side. You can do it, just don't put a lot of pressure on your belly. I'm going to bring my props with me because I want the head support again here. Oop. So for Sphinx, you want to set up like a low cobra position. Elbows are going to be about shoulder width apart, tops of your feet are down on the ground. And then make sure you've got something to support your head. Bring your forehead down so that it's being supported by something. Everything is being supported by the ground, your hip points, your pubic bone, your elbows. Letting your head get very heavy, supported by whatever props you've got. Just rooting down. If it doesn't feel like you're getting much here, you can take seal and bring your hands forward. But Sphinx might be enough.
If we are on our side, how can we get more out of it?
If you are on your side, how can you get more out of it? Let's see. You can come into that twist, Barbara, so bringing your left leg back behind you like this. Does that make sense? That's it's kind of opening up a different part. It's opening up your shoulder. Hopefully that helps. It's a good question, though. Maybe you've wandered or you've strayed. Come on back. Come back to this moment. Come back to your breath. Come back to the earth supporting you. Feel everything being supported here, being strengthened just by letting go. And then slowly coming out of this one again. So you may want to come up onto your side, using your body to help prop you up. Our next yin pose is a malasana squat. So for this one, I'd recommend that you use some blocks underneath your sits bones to support you. And then come into a yogi squat. Everyone can do this one. Bring your hands to heart center. You may need a couple of props for this one because you do want to support your head here. So if you can, find a way to support your head as you come into a yogi squat. Might be hard to figure out how to do it. You can also prop your hands up on something and then use your elbows in your hands to support your head. Again, letting your knees splay open and letting the inside balls of your feet come off the ground. And just sitting here, just being here. About halfway through, so maybe you realize you need a little more. I'm going to remove a block. Use my hands to gently traction my neck down. If you've wandered or strayed, come on back. Gently pulling your head and neck down towards the ground, towards deep relaxation. Sometimes the hardest thing is just to sit and be. I think someone unmuted themselves. And then slowly come out of that. So bringing hands to the ground and then coming on up. Moving props out of the way, but keep them close by. We're going to come into either stag or pigeon. So I'll show both, and because we'll be in each one of them for a couple of minutes, so a couple of minutes on each side. So I want to make sure you set up with integrity. So if you're taking stag, you're going to have your left foot in front of you. We'll do the left side first. Right foot bent behind you at a 90-degree angle. So both legs are at 90-degree angles. You want to shift your hip points forward. You know, you can put a prop underneath your right leg and then use something to support your head and neck as you come forward here. So you can do it that way, and that can be your pose. Or if you want a little more, you can take pigeon. So you're going to do the same thing, this time coming up onto your hips, making sure that you're supporting your right leg in the same way, so maybe using a prop to help prop you up, and then coming down into pigeon on this side. So your choice, either pigeon or staff, for about 3 minutes here. Maybe you take stag pose for the first minute and a half and then you switch, I'll let you know. But again, the point here is just to relax. So if you need to take a couple of seconds to set up here, do that. So you can get the most relaxation and enjoyment from the pose. Deep hip opener here, so focus on letting your hips completely relax. About halfway done, a little more than halfway. So if you were in stag and you want to try going into full pigeon, go for it. Or maybe you were in pigeon, but you want to come out of it and try stag. Either way, just come back to a deeply relaxing place. Lots of emotions stored in our hips and our lower back, so stuff may be coming up for you. Totally okay, just let it come up. Sometimes we treat our bodies like holding, like holding containers, when they really should be processing plants. We should be processing our emotions through them. Sometimes I tell my students, whatever you resist persists. So if you resist feeling an emotion, it's just going to stay. And then slowly coming out of that, maybe rolling onto one side of your hip. Taking a little bit of a counter stretch. And setting up for the second side. So you don't have to switch sides or anything. You can literally just do this from a seat. Some people like to come into it from down dog, so if that's your preference, go for it. But set up on the other side. So this time, right leg will come in front of you. Left leg will be the back leg. If you're doing stag, both legs are at 90 degrees, moving your hip points forward, or you can take pigeon. Either way, make sure you are deeply supported here, whatever side you decide to take. I'll let you know when we're about halfway through, so you can switch sides if you'd like, or switch to a different variation. This side will probably feel different because our bodies are uneven. So don't judge, just be with it, whatever it is. However you're showing up today is exactly where you're supposed to be. It's funny, before I became a yoga teacher, I was like, oh, all that hippy dippy yoga shit. But I'm like, it really does work. So again, letting yourself sink deeply into the mat. Lots of relaxation here. Letting Earth support you. Letting the people who are practicing together today support you. Lots of positive energy here. Lots of love and support. It's been about 1.5 minutes. So if you want to take a different variation, you've got about 1.5 minutes left to do so. So make your changes and then find stillness again. Let deep relaxation wash over you. Continuing to sink down. And then slowly coming out of it. So using your hands to come on up. Moving props out of the way. We're going to come onto our backs, nearing the end of our practice today. So we're going to do banana pose, which is kind of just a fun pose. So lying on your backs and then coming into a banana shape. So bringing your hands behind you above your head and over to the right, and then planing your hip points down and also bringing your legs to the right. So you're in the form of a C or banana shape. So again, nothing active here. It doesn't have to be the most curvy banana. And then switching to the other side. So Bringing hands this time to your left and moving your legs over to your left as well. Just try to keep your hips planted on the ground. Make that the goal here, not to get into the most curvy banana you can. And then one last pose before we move into our Shavasana. We're going to do Happy Baby in honor of Mother's Day. So, and people requested it. I don't know. I'm not into Happy Baby, but I do know that Jackie loves it. So, coming into Happy Baby, hips on the ground, back flat on the ground, hands on the outside of your feet or maybe the inside of your feet, and then swaying side to side, gentle swaying. You know, Jackie's so flexible, she can put her feet in her mouth. Just wild to me. Babies are so funny. Swaying side to side. Using your elbows if you want to open up your hips a little bit more. And then bringing everything together. One big hug. Thanking yourself for taking this hour out of your day to do something so nice for yourself, to get your blood pumping and then spend 30 minutes deeply relaxing yourself. And then opening up into your final resting pose. So you've got all those props around you. If you'd like to use a prop, go for it. If you want to take legs up the wall, you can go for it. That's just putting your body next to the wall and then propping your legs up onto the wall. Wherever you'd like to be for your Shavasana is great. Just letting everything go that we just did. And flooding yourself with some love, compassion, gratitude, whatever you wanted to let more of in today. Taking up a lot of room on your mat, palms up to receive all the loving energy of those around you. And just being here. It's always tempting to skip Shavasana in a home practice, but try not to. Try to be here with us. Taking a breath in and exhale out. One more breath in. Smile as you exhale out. Small movements in your wrists, maybe your ankles, maybe your toes and your fingers. Swaying your hips side to side. checking in and seeing how different you feel now after giving your body this gift for almost an hour. Coming up onto your favorite side in a fetal position. You've got your props around, use them to support you. And stay here for a breath or two. And then slowly come up. Whoop. My head feels extra heavy today because of this clip. So coming up into a seat. Same place we started. So check in again. Maybe if you started at the wall, you want to finish at the wall. You can see where you kind of how much you've changed even in just this hour. That's what I love about this practice. It can completely change your day, which can completely change your life. It's cheesy, but it's true. Hands to heart center together in namaste hands, and then up to your forehead, which is your third eye, so all of your wisdom lives here. I see you, and I honor the beautiful light in each and every one of you. I'm so grateful that you showed up today. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And I'd love to hear what you thought of the practice.
The yin was lovely.